Okay, good evening everyone, and welcome to our 3-day challenge, day 2. This is not real straight. Let's put it straight. Let's set the record straight. Okay, day 2. So first of all, welcome again to the 3-day challenge. What is the 3-day challenge? What a 3-day challenge is to not look at pornography for 3 days. And the reason why this is the most intuitive and not helpful definition of a 3-day challenge is because if you stop consuming pornography for 3 days, it's not going to say anything about you or your relationship with pornography. It's not going to tell you the root cause of your addiction. It's not going to tell you if you can go away from pornography for a long time. So we're not looking at pornography for 3 days. We are looking within ourselves and at our relationship with pornography as an object for 3 days. And that's the challenge, because it is confronting and it can feel like it's a rhetorical exercise and it doesn't really bring us an understanding of self, but it is not the case. By understanding our relationship with our addiction, we can play with the parameters and soften and kind of play with this relationship and make it evolve. The reason why we're engaged in an addiction is because we always go into the same patterns, but if we understand those patterns, then we can change them and understand them. So, a few more words about going cold turkey. So, stopping to watch pornography as a way to quit pornography is probably not going to help. If you haven't tried it, you're welcome to try it. Try to just, stop out of sheer will, not watch pornography anymore, and see how you go with that. And my guess is that in 90% of cases, it's not going to work. Or it's not my guess, it's my observation. And it never worked for me, and it will probably not work for you either. If your addiction is really mild, this may work. If your addiction is more severe than mild, it will not work. And the reason is the following, is that the part of us that is compelled to consume pornography is unconscious. The unconscious is a part of our mind that we don't have any control over, and that is the decision maker. Hey, Per, I've seen you. I see you've left a comment, and somehow I cannot read this comment. It's frustrating. I'll try to find a way to fix that. Thank you for your comment. That sucks. Let me see if I can go on my laptop and join the live myself. So what was I saying? The unconscious mind is the decision maker. So you can decide consciously out of sheer will that you're going to stop to watch pornography and make a decision, and a firm decision. And it's not going to change anything because your unconscious mind is going to make the decision. Your conscious mind can decide the parameters of what you do, but your unconscious mind is the one that decides what you're going to do. So there's no reason for beating yourself for not having the mental strength or the toughness of not watching pornography because you've made a commitment to do it. Your unconscious mind had decided that this is going to happen. So there's nothing you can do. It is going to happen no matter what you decide consciously. Okay, let me see. This guy is doing a live. And this guy is me. All right, well, this is loading. Okay, so you can try to go cold turkey. You can blame yourself. You can guilt yourself all you want. It's not going to change anything. So try it out 1 time, 3 times. If you relapse more than 3 times, it's time to change your technique. And the topic for today is a life without pornography. So, in this instance, I would invite you to project yourself into a life without pornography. I have been living a life without pornography for 3 or 4 years now, and it's a radical change. So coming from a place of addiction, and assuming you come from a place of addiction, I'm not someone who's going to sell you the benefits of what moving away from pornography can do for you, and I'm assuming that from yesterday's exercise about assessing the damages that having pornography in our life does, you now realize why you must move away from pornography addiction. However, I would like to invite you to project yourself into a life that is free from pornography. And so we're going to do the same exercise as we did yesterday. Here we go. Hey, Per, you were just saying hi. Awesome. Difficult to hard knuckle it going cold turkey on sheer willpower. Absolutely, Per. There's no way to do that. And that's because it's not the way the mind works. You can decide, but your unconscious mind will decide. And I mean, this has been established in the 1920s or so with Freud and the beginnings of psychoanalysis, that the unconscious mind is the decision maker. And yet, we're still making, 100 years later, the mistake to believe that sheer conscious decision is going to affect our behavior. And it does not. And especially not for addiction. And especially not for pornography. Okay, so I would like to invite you to grab a pen and paper, which I forgot to mention yesterday. And we're going to keep playing with our Wheel of Life. And in this exercise, I would like to, well, first of all, I would like to invite you to project yourself in a life that's free from pornography. Okay, you've beat pornography, and I understand there can be some resistances in doing this exercise because you don't want to believe that it's possible, because you don't want to be disappointed that it's possible if it never happens. Just for sheer exercise sake, as best you can, please project yourself in a life that's free from pornography. This, maybe let's take a breath. Let's take a breath together. And let's project into a life that is free from pornography. The thing about pornography doesn't exist anymore. It's not impacting our sexuality. It's not a thing in our lives. It's not a thing we do. In fact, it's so much so a thing we don't do that I'm just going to say your life free. It's your free life. It's your new life. And I'd like to invite you to pay attention to how is this life feeling for you. Is there maybe a difference in the body? A difference in how you project yourself in the future from this new standpoint? How is this new life feeling? And I want to reinforce that this is possible, all right? I am the living proof that healing from pornography addiction is possible, as are my clients, as are millions of people who have healed from pornography addiction, okay? So whatever belief you have about possibilities or impossibilities, I am here to outweigh that belief. Okay, and now I would like to invite you to go back to the Wheel of Life, and I'd like to invite you to think about what's possible in the realm of health. If you were away from pornography, in this new life away from pornography, how is your health? And we're going to go over the 7 quadrants or octants or septants of the Wheel of Life together. How is your health in this new life? And in fact, while we're playing this, no, let's do that later. And I want to ask you now, what is your wealth look like? How does the money look like in your new life without pornography? How does it feel? The feeling is always, you can just rely on the feeling. You know, how does it feel? No pornography anymore. What can you do with all your fortune, all your money, all your investments, whatever it is? What's your relationship like? You've moved away from pornography. You're free from this addiction. You have complete control over your sexual impulse. What's your relationship like? And in this new life, what does your family life look like? Maybe not having to hide anymore. Maybe being free from expressing your love to your loved ones without feeling like a creep or feeling incomplete. And most of this is my own experience projecting here. How's your relationship with your friends and the fun you're having in your life, in this new life free from pornography? How do you feel about your friends? Do you have more friends? Do you feel more truthful to your friends? Do you feel you see your friends more? Do you see your friends less? How is your career in terms of jobs? There are countless stories of people who have lost jobs because they were watching pornography at work, or they got caught in their history having pornographic material in their history. On the opposite spectrum of that, how does it feel in your career? You're free from pornography now. Where are you going to take your career? How are you going to take place in society in a way that is meaningful for you? And finally, personal development and spirituality. Having moved away from pornography, what's your relationship with spirituality? Do you feel more complete spiritually? How do you feel in terms of your personal development? Do you feel like there's a whole new realm that can be explored because you were devoting so much energy into this healing, and now you've unlocked that, and you can put all this energy into other aspects of your own development, or spiritual connection, or spiritual development, or whatever it is for you. Okay, and now I would like you to kind of took all these elements together: health, wealth, relationship, family, friends and fun, career, and personal development of your life away from pornography, and kind of let that sit in your body. So let's take a breath again together and let these experiences sit in and form an experience of your future life away from pornography. And you can see evolving yourself freely in this new life with your family, with your friends, at work. Maybe you've started a new business, maybe you have a new career, maybe you got promoted, maybe you stopped working because you decided that you want to own your own time, and now you can do that. How does it feel in your relationship? What's the change? And what's the feeling in your body to be free from this heavy burden that you've been carrying for 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years? How do you feel? And you can call back that feeling in your body anytime you want. This is your future self. It is accessible to you right now. And you can call that feeling in your body anytime you want. Okay. And now, in balance to that, I want to ask you, what is the benefit? What is the benefit of having pornography in your life right now? Yesterday we estimated the damage. I want to ask you, what is the benefit of having pornography in your life right now? Why is pornography in your life a good thing? If you keep going towards it, there must be some benefit, some advantage of having pornography in your life. What is it? And you can write it down. Okay, and finally, yesterday I raised the question, what is pornography? And so I feel like addressing that question today and asking you another question today for tomorrow. What is pornography? Well, this is a good question. So some people will say that the difference between erotica and pornography, I always take the reference of erotica because you're addicted to pornography, but you're not addicted to erotica. And yet they are very similar things, but there's something that's quite different in the feel, in the color between erotica and pornography. So what is the difference between erotica and pornography? Well, pornography is sexual content that triggers our shadow. I just gave the definition. I didn't want to go straight into that, but it just happened. That triggers our shadow. Pornography is content that is not 100% consensual. Pornography is a proxy where we can live fantasies that have been repressed and are now accessible to us. Pornography is this theater of archetypes where archetypes interact and there's a transfer of power that's happening from one archetype to another in the sexual realm that make us feel more alive, that make us feel whole, that make us feel forgiven, that make us feel integrated, that make us feel understood, that make us feel happier. And pornography is taboo. In essence, pornography is taboo. And for everybody who's watching this video, pornography will contain some sense of taboo. And the reason for that is because we make pornography taboo for ourselves. Pornography is this repository of imagery, sexual imagery, where there's so much available, and we will pick in that pornography what is taboo for us and make it super taboo for us. And this is why pornography feels so good, because we're breaking a taboo that is a personal taboo, a personal interdiction, and we are going over the interdiction through pornography. Pornography is the gateway to fulfilling these fantasies, to doing these forbidden things. And isn't it interesting? Pornography is the first source of traffic on the internet. The very first source of traffic on the internet is search engines, 70% of the traffic. After that is 16% of the traffic pornography. Now, in search engines, 25% of the queries go to pornographic sites. So pornography is in essence the biggest source of traffic on the internet. And so we developed this big thing, we developed this majestic invention of being able to communicate across the world instantly and sharing ideas and innovation and everything. And what do people do? They send taboo. They send nakedness. It's not nakedness. They send non-consensualized depictions of sexuality that break a taboo. And that's what pornography is. And it's beautiful in essence, and the innocence that's behind that is quite touching. How, that's the power that's given to us as humanity, this is what we make of it. This is the ultimate power is to access this repression, to access this taboo, to access this power of sexualized representations. It tells a lot about humanity in a way that is innocent and touching, is my feeling. What is it for you? Is there only one pornography? What is pornography? How many pornographies is there? There's amateur pornography, there's gonzo pornography, there's internet pornography, there's magazines, there's different media, there's different content, there's different levels of permission, there's erotica. Is it pornography when someone sends you a video of them doing stuff? Is that pornography or is it not? Is it pornography if it's illegal? Is it pornography if it's child pornography? Is it pornography if it breaks the law, if it breaks a taboo, if it's impossible? If it's alien pornography, is it still pornography? All these questions about the object of pornography. But ultimately, pornography is content that triggers our shadow. And I'll explain that tomorrow on our day 3 and final day for our 3-day challenge. Meanwhile, the question I want to leave you with today is the following. Why are you watching the content that you consume? Why are you watching the stuff that you watch in pornography? I'm not asking this to make you feel bad with a moral judgment on what you watch. I'm asking you why. What's the real reason? Why are you compelled to watch this content? What is it for you in this content that has such an appeal? And it will vary for everybody. And so I'm curious to ask you, why do you watch the stuff that you watch? In a very non-judgmental way, in a very inviting way. We allow things to resurface in us. When we connect to this object of desire, why do we watch the stuff that we watch? And that's been a question that's led me to the path of healing, was this question. Why do I watch this stuff that's horrible? I was into extreme pornography, don't really feel like sharing exactly the nature of what I was watching, but it was definitely lesbian content. There was no man in the scene for me ever, and extreme stuff. And I was like, why am I watching this? Like, this makes no sense. Why are you watching the stuff that you watch? That's my question for you today, and we will answer it tomorrow for our day 3 of our 3-day challenge. Now, thank you for being with us, and if you have any question, please leave us in the comment. I will reply tomorrow, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow will be at a certain time, 5 p.m. tomorrow, Australian time, Australian Easter time. Thank you for your presence today, and see you tomorrow.